Ladies and gentlemen, some big news in regards to Victor Osimhen. You don't want to go anywhere. We're going to talk about him to Galatasaray, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Big news. Osimhen has agreed to go to Galatasaray. We're going to talk that in details and a whole heap of other news. Angelo Gabriel has left Chelsea Football Club. It's a here we go to a Saudi club. We'll talk about that. Omari Kellyman, what's going on with him? Post-match yesterday against Crystal Palace, what did Enzo Maresca mean about a particular comment? That's going to come up as well, and whole heap of other news. You, as I said, don't want to go anywhere. Make sure straight away, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's get to 36,000 subscribers and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get cracking into this. On today's latest news that's been circulating around Chelsea. First up, what's happening with Victor Osimhen? We all want to know, are we going back to this player later on? I mean, it did not end nicely at the end of the transfer window. It was a very lackluster finish. I mean, I'm shocked that he's still stuck around at Napoli. I really thought that all the cards were lined up for him to join Chelsea Football Club, but at the end of the day, seems like I don't know who's telling the truth. Did we offer him enough money? Did we not offer him enough money? It's very difficult to determine who's telling the truth here. But the bottom line is we could not find a solution with this brother. But the strange part is, ladies and gentlemen, his agent did say that, no, he's not going to be up for loan. He's not going to go anywhere for loan. My asset, my player is too good for a loan. And yet here we are, ladies and gentlemen, where Victor Osimhen has agreed to go on a loan to Galatasaray, and it's no obligation to buy, no option to even buy. It's a straight up loan from Napoli, and I don't understand why these sort of this deal could not have been struck for Chelsea. So let's get into the details, and we'll talk more about the Chelsea situation. Fabrizio Romano, Galatasaray have reached an agreement in principle with Napoli over loan deal for Victor Osimhen. I mean, he needs to sack his agent. After all of this drama, his agent has squandered the opportunity to go to Al Ahly for huge money. Didn't bring him to Chelsea, where I feel like the EPL, the brightness of EPL, the excitement of EPL, he didn't want to come to a city like London as well. They've squandered that opportunity as well. Now they've settled for Galatasaray. I find that very, very strange. And I feel in terms of, Victor Osimhen's agent, he's absolutely bottled this. 1 year loan, salary covered, as Napoli have accepted these conditions. So his salary is getting covered by Galatasaray. Wonder where Galatasaray is getting all of this money. Maybe they've got a lot of money. Gala's delegation to meet with Osimhen in Napoli in the next hours for final green light to move. Well, that green light has been provided. Furthermore, Galatasaray have agreed to cover 9 to 10 million euros as salary of Victor Osimhen until the end of the season. Loan deal agreed with Napoli does not include any buy option obligation. So they don't want to lock themselves up with Galatasaray. They want to be basically play football this season, or else they were banished at Napoli, and want to make sure that they're still open to go to a bigger club. Whether it's in January, whether it's in, at the end of next season, they want to be able to do that. Mission in Napoli to get Victor's green light, which we know that's been given, to cover 9 to 10 million euros. Now, I find it strange that Chelsea were unable to do that. Once again, as I said, I don't know who's telling the truth. I'm not really sure. I'm starting to think maybe Osimhen wasn't really even keen to join Chelsea Football Club. I don't know, because if he was that keen, we would have found a solution. Victor Osimhen has accepted to join Galatasaray on loan. Understand Osimhen's now asking for release clause at Napoli to become 75 million euros instead of the 130. Now, this is a big play here. I feel like this is a game changer. The 130 million, I don't know whether we were able to negotiate that with Napoli at the end. There was rumors that apparently we found an agreement with Napoli, but I don't know whether the agreement was for 130 million. Now, release clause of 75 million, that would be nice, but that is obviously at the end of this season. I don't know. I don't think this release clause is for January. I'm not really sure because they've not made it clear, but maybe it is at the end of this season. Also wants a break clause. Okay, so yeah, it is. I believe that 75 million euros is going to be the release clause at the end of the season. Also wants a break clause for January in case top clubs approach him over move. Final points being discussed. Now, Chelsea could potentially go to him in January. I still think we have a distinct need of getting a striker. We saw against Servette, we've struggled to score. Against Palace, we've struggled to score. There is a distinct need to get a gunman up front who's able to, bang out a goal in difficult circumstances and give us those 3 points. It's very, very important for us to have that ability to do that. The break clause for January revealed earlier tonight is confirmed. Victor Osimhen could leave Galatasaray in 4 months. So obviously, this move to Galatasaray seems like everything is in his terms for Victor Osimhen. Decision up to the player if he receives specific proposal, but Galatasaray will receive a fee in exchange. So Gala's been looked after as well. This is basically the roundup on the whole Osimhen situation. Nice little roundup from Ben Jacobs. Victor Osimhen saga. Napoli insisted on 120 million euros plus release clause for much of the summer. PSG agreed terms with Osimhen, but Napoli asked for 100 million and the French champions walked away. Al Ahly agreed terms with Osimhen and an 80 million euros package, only for the price to go up after Napoli learned of Ivan Toney's fee. Chelsea offered both a loan and later a loan with obligation, but couldn't agree terms with Osimhen. Osimhen's agent, Roberto Calenda, made it clear his client didn't want a temporary move. As we know, you didn't want a temporary move with us, but here we are with Galatasaray, you've got a temporary move. This stopped Chelsea making quicker progress at the same time as sending Romelu Lukaku the other way. Osimhen agrees to join Galatasaray on a straight loan with a January break clause. Napoli still plan to sell Osimhen in 2025. I mean, what an unbelievable transfer saga. I'm annoyed with Osimhen's agent that we've not been able to strike a deal for him at Chelsea for a loan, just to help us out financially, which is strange to say because we've gone out there and bought so many players as well. So look, at the end of the day, Chelsea didn't want to outlay all of that money as well. And Victor Osimhen and his agent did not want to budge until Chelsea paid all the money. And then when it didn't happen, we pulled away. Napoli obviously decided that you're not going to be part of the squad. You better find a solution. And the solution was, Turkish league with Galatasaray. So I find the whole situation that they've messed up. Somewhere along the way, they've messed up. But maybe at least they've kept themselves open for future windows to still make a move. We shall see if Chelsea changes any of the stipulation come the future windows. But look, I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. This player, is he really interested to join Chelsea? Even though I'd want him, I want to see him at Chelsea and I want to see him help us and obviously help himself as well. But is this player too much to handle? Is his attitude a bit of an issue? Seems like money is the driver for this guy. If that was the case, then why didn't he go to Saudi Arabia? Look, I feel like he's messed up. He's proper messed up and no one's giving him the right advice. But he finds himself in the Turkish league. I don't know if that, surely that's not competitive enough, but here we are. He found himself in the Turkish league. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about the whole Victor Osimhen scenario. Has he mucked up? Did we do the right thing in order to hold our grounds and make the deal happen on our terms? Or should we have brought this gunman in? Let me know. This is what Maresca had to say about the striker situation post-Palace game. Maresca on the club failing to sign a striker. We wanted players, but a player we decide. It has to be on our conditions. If the player is not here, it was not on our condition. We will see in January. So Maresca is putting it out there that we wanted someone, but it has to be in our terms, and it didn't happen in our terms. We'll see what happens in January. He's still open for the January situation, and looks like Osimhen is also keeping himself open for January. So we'll revisit in January where this whole scenario goes, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, let me know how you feel about the entire saga. Do you think Osimhen really wants to come to Chelsea Football Club or not? Now, in regards to our striker situation in our club, the current player, Nicolas Jackson will sign new contract extension this week. Chelsea want their top players to be happy with their salaries. Chelsea also never considered including Jackson in a swap deal for Isak and believe his price is now worth way more than what they bought him for. Now, look, there's no doubt about that his price is way more than what we bought him for. He's probably about a 60, 70 million striker. There's no doubt about that. He does score goals. My biggest gripe with Nicolas Jackson is, sure, you're there to score goals. He's already scored 2 goals this season in the Premier League, one against Wolves and one against Crystal Palace. His movement is good. Generally, he's in the right places in the box. The issues with Nicolas Jackson is clear. His decision-making in the final third is not polished. Sometimes he holds onto the ball too long when there are passing options available. And shooting, his technique in terms of his shooting is weak. He's got to get a lot better aerially. He's got to get a lot better. There is a lot of room for improvement. I mean, the amount of times I've seen this brother be 1v1 against the goalkeeper and not putting those kind of chances away, those are the moments, and especially when it's tied 1-1 against an opposition, or 0-0, we need to unlock something. I need this player to be able to bail us out. And that's the level of striker we need at Chelsea Football Club, and that's something that's not happening. Maybe down the track he could develop, but we shall see. We shall see. It seems like everything that we saw last season is kind of carrying it on so far in these early stages. So, as I said, there is some distinct good qualities about Nicolas Jackson, but then there's always some flaws. He always has the word but. Everything we say, but. Then there is a but that you know, he needs to satisfy for us. So look, kudos to him to find a new contract. He probably deserved it off the back of last season. He wasn't on huge wages. He's probably on a decent wage right now, and we shall see if he can improve on that. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Angelo Gabriel leaves Chelsea to join Al Nassr. Here we go, confirmed. Medical done and documents being exchanged, reviewed tonight. 23 million euros fee plus sell-on clause as wanted by Chelsea. Now, 23 million euros fee approximately comes out to be about 19 million, and we apparently bought him for about 13 million. So we made a bit of a profit, about 6 million in profit, something in that vicinity. Look, I really like this player, and I know there's a lot of fans out there that are upset that what are we saying to these kids to sell this project, selling them a dream to come to Chelsea, and then they're getting sold anyway. Angelo Gabriel is one of them. David Washington's probably going to be the other one, and many more will continue. A lot of people are upset that we can't be doing this. We should have a due diligence to ensure these players, you know, we don't just stockpile them and use them as commodity. I've said that many times. And, you know, we can't just be treating them this way. But I think as a fan base, we need to now accept the fact that they are a commodity. And this is a stock exchange at Chelsea Football Club. And we will find the latest talents out there in South America or wherever around the world. And we will try and flip them for some level of profit if they don't make it at Chelsea Football Club. On the flip side, you could say that Angelo Gabriel, he did get the opportunity on loan to go to Strasbourg last season, and he didn't impress. He didn't impress enough. And then obviously he had the injury as well. He got the opportunity in the preseason at Chelsea as well, albeit small opportunity, but once again, didn't really light it up. So yes, there is an argument that we didn't give him enough chances. There's also an argument, whatever chances that he got, it's not like he absolutely lit it apart. Me personally, I liked him. I really liked the way his close control, his technical ability, his ability on the right side to drift in and really open up the field and go for those inverted crosses. I really liked him as a player, but ladies and gentlemen, he is now sold to Al Nassr. We've got a good relationship with the Saudis, and we make a small profit. And this is probably what's going to happen with a lot of youngsters. We are going to be looking to make a small profit. It's up to these guys to sit down with their parents, to sit down with their agency and figure out whether they really want to join Chelsea Football Club or not. Don't be surprised if someone like Henry Paez or Esteban Willian down the track doesn't play for Chelsea Football Club. Even though I rate them a lot, they're very, very good players. But don't be surprised. Look, all I'm going to say is that the best of the best will make it, and the rest will be sold. Like, for example, Andre Santos, he's doing really well at Strasbourg, and I fully believe he's potentially going to be a Chelsea player down the track. So, yeah, I don't think Chelsea will let go of players that are actually going to break into the first team. So let's see what happens. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, AK Athens sporting director Panagiotis Kone was at Stamford Bridge last night amid talks with David Dutra Fofana. 9 days left until the transfer window closes for the Greek market. David Dutra Fofana will be another one of those players, just like Angelo Gabriel, will be flipped for some level of profit. AK Athens, this is where I'm a little bit like, we built them up when we first bought them that they were going to be the next big thing. Angelo Gabriel as well. Now Angelo Gabriel finds himself at Nassr at such a young age. You'd think that the whole career was still available to shine in Europe and make something, a name out of yourself, but he finds himself at Nassr. He could still potentially move from Al Nassr to a European league, but I highly doubt it. David Dutra Fofana as well. His career is just going downwards very fast. Now potentially AEK Athens in the Greek league. So this guy's gone from Union Berlin, which was such a good loan move. He didn't do well. And then he found himself at Burnley, couldn't secure a place there. And now all of a sudden he's in AEK Athens. So it's going to be a tough way up back. But this is how it's going to be with Chelsea Football Club. We're going to flip them for profit. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Kani Chukwuemeka and Cesare Cassidy will stay in Maresca's first-team squad, coming from Simon Johnson and Liam Toomey. Look, even though they're going to be staying in the Maresca's first-team squad, I highly doubt they're going to get any minutes. Like, honestly speaking, you see the bench. There's not even enough space to bring in your Reece Jameses, your Sanchos, your Romeo Lavias, who are all going to have to come back. How are you going to fit in Kani Chukwuemeka and Cassidy, knowing there's still Nkunku in the bench at times, there's Mudryk in the bench at times? So, okay, fine, you're going to stay, but I highly doubt you're going to get any minutes. So let's see what happens. These players are potentially going to be looked to leave probably in the January window. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Esteval Willian. We won't look at the whole clip, but as you saw, fantastic banging goal there from Esteval Willian. This guy just keeps scoring goals. And he's a supreme talent on the right side, man. His shooting technique is good. His dribbling is on point. Sensational. Simply sensational. Have a look again, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him cut in, and oh, what a finish. So yeah, Esteval Willian continues to keep scoring goals, and one to look out for next season when he's ready to join Chelsea Football Club. Will he come in and become a first-team player? Who's going to miss out? A lot of questions. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is a food for thought. I want you guys to let me know how are you interpreting this comment, this particular comment of Enzo Maresca. Probably one thing that has to be clear. Chelsea 3 years ago won the Champions League, but now it is not that kind of Chelsea. So now sometimes if you don't win, it's normal. I don't know if he's trying to just state the obvious and just letting the fans know that this is normal. Or is he trying to say, this is normal? Like he's just giving a big reality check to the fan base and the club that this shouldn't be normal, but it is normal. Like, I don't know which angle he's going towards. Is he just stating a fact, or is he actually saying, sad story for Chelsea Football Club, that this has become normal? So let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I find that, yes, it is a fact, but what are you going to try and do, Mr. Maresca? What is going to be your remit to get us back to normality? Because it shouldn't be normal, dropping points, especially against Crystal Palace, the way we played the first half. We should be killing the match in the first half. Yet in the second half, it kind of looked like Crystal Palace probably end up winning. So this should not be normal. What are we going to do about it, Enzo Maresca? That's the question. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, summer signing Omari Kellyman, who cost 19 million. 19 million, and he's not going to get an opportunity in the first team. He's in the development squad from Aston Villa. Is said to be out for at least 2 months with a hamstring injury. So we bought him for 19 million, no space in the first team, in the academy team, and he's already injured for the next 2 months with his hamstring injury. Apparently, he does have a little bit of an injury, history as well. So I don't know. 19 million for Omari Kellyman. I'm not really sure whether you're going to be able to make a huge profit out of him if you don't play him. So that's one where it just doesn't make sense to me, that level of money. I could understand if you bought him for about 5 million and you want to sell him down the track for 10 million. But you've already bought him for 19 million. How are we going to sell him for whatever down the track? Chelsea sell Angelo to Al Nassr for 19.3 million. We've already covered that. And that is the latest, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially in regards to Victor Osimhen. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya. Goodbye.